We are going to take a feature layer from ArcGIS Online that has some features, and we're going to use the ArcGIS API for Python truncate method to remove all those features from this feature layer. So let's check it out. I have a feature surface here that has 4 feature layers. The data is from the National Parks and Wildlife Service in Ireland for designated area boundaries, and I want to truncate the special areas of conservation layer. I'm going to click into this feature layer for the SAC. Now on the right hand side, I am going to copy the URL. I'm going to click this icon because I want to use this URL in my script. Before heading to the script, I'm going to go into the data tab, and we can see the records here are the features from this feature layer, and in total there are 22 features. The truncate will remove all these features. Now when we visit the documentation, we are going to see that you cannot trunk a feature layer under 3 conditions, and one of those is that the feature service cannot have sync enabled. So I'm going to settings, and I can see here that sync is disabled, so we do not have to worry about that. Let's head over to the Python script. Up top, we are importing the GIS class that will provide access to our ArcGIS Online organization content. And also from the features module, I'm importing the feature layer class, as we're going to create a feature layer object that represents our SAC feature layer, and we will truncate the data from this feature layer. The feature layer object has a property called manager that opens up a FeatureLayerManager object. It is from this FeatureLayerManager object that we can access the truncate method. So let's head over to the documentation for the truncate method. Here we see the truncate method from the FeatureLayerManager object. The truncate operation supports deleting all features or attachments in a hosted feature service layer. Here we see a note that the truncate method is restricted to layers that do not serve as the origin in a relationship with other layers. Our SAC is not the origin in a relationship, so that's good. Do not reference the same underlying database tables that are referenced by other layers. For example, if the layer was published from a layer with a definition query and a separate layer has also been published from that source. This really seems to be for ArcGIS Enterprise portal, and we are using ArcGIS Online, so we are not referencing the same underlying database, and we do not have sync enabled, so we're good to truncate. There are 3 optional parameters. Attachment only. We could set this if we only wanted to truncate and delete attachments from the feature layer. If you are working on a large data set, you would set asynchronous to true. Now I don't know what defines a large data set versus a smaller data set. We're just going to use the default of false. And wait is the 3rd optional parameter. If set to true, then wait to pause the process until asynchronous operation is completed. And the default for this is true. The truncate method returns a JSON message as a dictionary indicating success or an error. So let's head back to our script. We first access ArcGIS Online using the GIS class and supplying in our home string. We'll assign our GIS object to a variable called AGOL. We have one user input, and that is the feature layer URL that I copied from the feature layer in ArcGIS Online, so I'll paste that in now. We now want to create a feature layer object. We call the feature layer object. We set the URL to be our feature layer URL above, and the GIS to be our GIS object. I'm going to assign our feature layer object to a variable called FL. We'll create a variable called status, and we're going to set that to equal our feature layer object. And we're accessing the manager property, which is a feature layer manager object. And from this feature layer manager object, we are using the truncate method, and we're not using any of the optional parameters. We'll then print status to screen, which should return a JSON message of success or error. So let's run the script. Our script is complete. We can see the JSON message returned, where we have a property of success and a value of true, indicating that our SAC feature layer has been truncated. Let's head over to ArcGIS Online and check out the result. Here we can see the original data tab for our special areas of conservation feature layer. It had a total of 22 features. So when I refresh this page, we should see that all these features have been truncated. So I'll refresh now. And we can see we have successfully truncated the data for the special areas of conservation feature layer. We now have 0 features in our feature layer. We just saw with a few lines of code we could truncate a feature layer in ArcGIS Online using the ArcGIS API for Python. Make sure to check out more videos up here from the playlist and be sure to subscribe. Take care.